Got a fantastic interview here with the team at Tokenbridge. Daron, Stephen, welcome. Welcome to the Security Token Show.
Thank you.
Before we jump in, I know you guys put a lot of work and effort into your new announcement, launching Tokenbridge with a beautiful video. So why don't we go ahead and roll the clip?
It's easy to follow the crowd, to keep investing using the same familiar systems, to waste time and money in the twists and turns of old-fashioned technology, where efficient client relationships and transactions are compromised. It's time for a change of direction, a new path that changes the industry and the experience for investors. It's time to move forward into the investment future on a bridge to better. Tokenbridge, advancing the investment world.
Still makes me well up.
Whew. That's a fantastic little intro to you guys. Daron, maybe you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. Hi, my name's Daron Pearce. I'm the executive chairman of Tokenbridge. I've been working with Stephen for about 15 months now, and he started this venture a bit before that. Prior to that, I was at BNY Mellon running the asset servicing business across EMEA. I'm delighted to join you this afternoon.
Fantastic. Welcome. Stephen, you want to give us a quick intro about yourself? Maybe jump right into Tokenbridge itself?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Herwig. Thanks, Daron, as well. Good to meet you. Good to be on the show. Yeah, my background is as an independent technologist working in the City of London. So on lots and lots of project-based deliveries around wealth management platforms and so on. And Daron and I, we're talking over the past 18 months about fund tokenization. To date, actually, we've been doing a lot of explaining about what that is, but some epic news in the past couple of weeks. JP Morgan and the Monetary Authority of Singapore and the UK government have all come out and done some of the heavy lifting for us and telling everybody what fund tokenization is and that it is a thing. So we're delighted to be launching actually just 3 weeks ago before that wave of news hit. And Tokenbridge is an exciting software company that allows token owners and their advisors, that's consumers and their advisors, to aggregate all those tokens together and get really personalized advice in a really cost-effective way. So it's a bit of a win-win situation because we think that, as mutual funds in particular become tokenized, they ultimately become cheaper, and that means more people can get more advice. And we think financial advice is absolutely fantastic for all kinds of people. So it's a very exciting time, I think. And I think we're going to see this wave spread out over 2024. So it's good timing.
Yeah, fund tokenization has absolutely taken center stage. Huge news. We did just talk about it on the show right before we got to you guys about everything happening in the UK. Now, you guys are more of the plumbing behind actually making a lot of this work. So maybe tell us a little bit about, what specifically makes your technology different. There's a lot of new players coming into the space, definitely a lot of noise, if you will. I had the chance of actually even getting a demo from you guys and was absolutely blown away. But tell us, what makes you different?
Yeah, sure. So we are a software company and we enable advisors and actually consumers where they go direct to aggregate their fund tokens on their phone. And they can connect in that white label app. They can connect those fund tokens with some of their personal tokens, so about their values or their goals for investing. And ultimately, and these are some big long words here, but we use them as sort of superpowers like open architecture. We'll aggregate any token. Personalization will make it all about the consumer and their advisor. And distribution, which means that we're going to make it really easy for fund managers to reach out to consumers and their advisors. So think of it as an aggregator on your phone, and it gives consumers real power over what they can choose to invest in and how they want to invest. That's a big step forward because to this point, it's been quite expensive and frictional for people to do that.
And I like to think we work across the whole of the investment life cycle, which again really differentiates us. So we've got the expertise to help fund managers produce tokens and get their funds into the token market. We've got the technology to support the wealth managers and IRAs and connect those guys with those issuers of tokens. And then our software connects the IRA or the wealth manager with their underlying client. on a completely chain agnostic basis. The fund managers, they can choose any chain they want to, and we'll aggregate those on our platform. And we're connecting those RIAs and wealth managers who, are increasingly relevant in a highly digitized world, particularly from people like my son and so the next generation of investors who are very focused on a digital experience. These kids are digital natives. They expect everything to be accessible via their phone. And the old world of applying for units in a mutual fund and finding out tomorrow how many you got, and it's not as many as you thought because you didn't have the cash. That whole antiquated world of investment, that's going to unravel very quickly as the market looks to support the next generation.
It's 2023, and most people almost assume that this is already a given when it is in fact not. So you're absolutely doing the necessary work to make that happen. I find some very interesting here. You're not necessarily focused on targeting the end consumer. You're actually looking to work with the fund products themselves, the fund managers, and then get them into the hands of the wealth managers and the RIAs. And through your technology, they are able to reach their customers, the end consumer, using, of course, Tokenbridge. Do I get that right?
Yep.
Yeah, you did. And I think, look, we've had some, the history of, let's call them crypto assets as they used to be known. So security tokens, ICOs, all of that stuff is now in the rear view mirror. And I think what regulated token issuers, and we only deal with regulated tokens and regulated advisors in Tokenbridge only deals with that customer base. What they now have is a chance to get up close and personal. Fund managers can get up close and personal to their consumers. And that brings with it a whole host of opportunities for fund managers to tailor and personalize their products, and for consumers to really get what they want. Something that really works for me or for you, Herwig, or for Daron, is distinct from each other, and that can be customized into our aggregator. So that's quite a big step forward, because up until this point, consumers were getting great advice and great products, but they were kind of generic, and that was a question of costs and tech stacks. But now when this is brought down to the level of individual tokens and individual, consumers, it can be hyper personalized, not to make that word do too much work, because it's very common in the fund management industry. So that's very exciting. So I think that it's like the beginning of a real promise of the distributed ledger to give, unique and individual outcomes.
If you go back, Herwig, 7-8 years, the big trend in the wealth market was robo-advice, that, there would be this automated way of giving people good advice at a reasonable price point. And it massively under-delivered because the technology wasn't there. The required level of personalization, understanding of people's life situation, their risk tolerances, all of that, none of that could really be codified in a meaningful way at scale. This changes the game completely. I think of what we're doing as delivering on the original promise of robo-advice, but at a far more personal level, with a much higher level of automation and a much more aggressive price point.
I've got goosebumps. I'm extremely excited. Congratulations on launching. To end our segment here, why don't you let our audience know what's the next milestone? What's that big next announcement you guys are looking towards?
Well, we've got our first customer under wraps, ready to be announced, and it's all about personalization. We're launching in the US and the UK simultaneously in early 2024, and actually physically getting some white label products out there. So watch this space. We've got quite a good, I think, schedule of announcements to come. So we're really, really excited, and we're, the stars are aligning, and I think the industry is about to see 2024 as the year of tokenization.
Absolutely brilliant. Hopefully we can have both of you back on the show as you plan those announcements to talk about it. And with that, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thank you.